Helga from Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking. Today I'm just going to show you quick how to make your own homemade croutons and breadcrumbs. Maybe you can't get out to get some and you want some for a recipe, but the nice thing is when you make your own, like making the breadcrumbs or even the croutons, you can make them the way that you like them and you know what goes into them. I wanted to make some croutons for the French onion soup that I'm going to make today, and I have some breadcrumbs, but they're real fine, and I wanted the coarser breadcrumbs to do for another dish that I'm doing later. So I'm going to just show you, it's not hard to do, it's really simple. I'm going to show you how to make your own breadcrumbs and croutons. You can do it with homemade bread, store-bought bread. I'm actually using store-bought bread today, but because I figure most people have that on hand, but it's great to do it with homemade bread as well. So I'll show you what goes into it. It's pretty quick and pretty easy. All you really need is bread, butter, and whatever seasonings you might like I might use a little garlic powder, a little parsley. So this is pretty simple. I have 15 slices of bread. I'm preheating my oven to 350 degrees. I made a little mix here of garlic powder and parsley and some Italian seasoning. I mean, most of the time I use it in Italian dishes anyway. And I have half a cup, or actually a quarter of a cup of melted butter, which is half a stick. And all you do is you take your bread and you brush on the oil. Both sides. Just sprinkle. And then you're going to do the next one. And I'm going to cut them up in cubes and put on a baking tray. Okay. And you need the oil so that they crisp up nice, because I want them nice and toasty when I put them in my French onion soup. You want something that's good and toasted, that's not going to turn to mush right away. So like I said, I'm just going to take these and I'm going to cut them up into cubes and put them on a baking tray. So my first tray is ready to go in. This will make 2 trays like this, and I'm going to put these, make sure that they're all laying down so that they get toasted evenly and good, and I'm going to put them in my 350 degree oven. So my first batch is out. I had them in the oven at 350 degrees for 15 minutes. They're nice and toasty. I'm going to let these cool off, and then we'll give them a little taste. I'm going to use the second tray. I'm going to keep these as croutons, or whatever I don't use for the soup, I will just place in a Ziploc bag and put in my pantry to use for later. The other tray I'm going to crush up for my breadcrumbs. Well, they're all done, all cooled off. See how nice and seasoned they came out? So now we're going to give it a nice taste test. Those are really good. You know, that's the nice thing about this. You can use whatever kind of bread you want, and make whatever kind of seasoning mix you want on it, so you really can make them your own. And they're not much work, and my God, the kitchen smells amazing. And they're kind of yummy just by themselves. So, those are my croutons. All I'm going to do is take the second batch here coming out of the oven, let them cool, and then I'm going to crush them in a Ziploc baggie, and I'm going to store them in a airtight container. I'll use them for my fish dish later and some other things. And once again, they store really nicely, so, you know, Like I said, they're pretty yummy. So I'm gonna take that batch. I'm gonna and there you have your breadcrumbs. All seasoned and ready to go. So you see, that was really, really easy. So that was just a quick vid on the breadcrumbs and the croutons. You know, the thing of it is too, even if things are tough and you don't have a lot of money, and I mean, I grew up, we didn't have a lot of money. Anybody, I don't know of any family dairy farmer that grew up with a lot of money. But you can eat well, even if you don't have a lot of money. It just takes a little bit more work. You know, if you make your own bread, it's super cheap. But this is the cheap wheat bread. And so I'm able to make up a couple batches of croutons and a couple batches of breadcrumbs, and it's way cheaper. And I think when I looked at the store, like a bag of croutons is like $2 or $3 a bag for not a very big bag. And same thing for the breadcrumbs. So, you know, I made several batches for $1.09. You can't beat it. And like I said, the stuff keeps for a while. Just put it in Ziploc bags or an airtight container, and you're set to go. I'm utilizing stuff here the next few weeks out of my pantry. So, you know, that's another thing. Every day, sort of actually fun, because every day is like an episode of Chopped. I look in my pantry, the box, to see what we're going to do for the day. I keep a well-stocked larder, so, you know, we're good. This actually isn't bad for us at all. It's not actually a whole lot different than what we do every day anyway. So, homemade croutons and breadcrumbs. They're easy, cheap, flavorful, really good. Give them a try. Like, subscribe, and join me next time here in Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking.